Good evening, race fans, young and old. How are we all this evening? It is another Taco Tuesday. Let's just put the... Make sure that's on. It is. Well, it is another Taco Tuesday. It's Season 7. It's round number 7, and it's a brand new outing for our console drivers. It's Circuit of the Americas, making its first appearance this evening. We'll be following that up with more American adventures at Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, and then 90 minutes at Laguna Seca. As we can see, the drivers are out on track, and that is there. 19 joining us this evening. Sorry, full panic mode after last week's audio issues, but we seem to be up and running this week. Hopefully you guys are getting game sound as well. There we go. Arms just making his way out on track. There is Milden in the Mercedes. He's third in the championship at the moment. The dream is still alive. A couple of broadcasts were actually cut short when I was talking about this, but TK Drifter, top of the championship, yet to win a race. Been on the podium twice so far this season. Never on the top spot, but he does lead the championship by 2 whole points. Still, a lead is a lead. In second, it's Cool Racing. We can see him just leaving the pits there. 17 points further adrift is Milden in third. We'll see his Mercedes. That's quite the camera angle. Yeah, I'll be interested to see where the camera angles here are here for console. There's Milden there warming up his tyres. In fact, while they're doing that, let's have a look at the full stand-ins. As I mentioned, it's TK Drifter, Cool Racing, Milden that are leading the way. We did momentarily see Arms at the start there. He's in fourth with Rob 2K in fifth place. Jetpacker Nebula, who's won't be racing this evening. A few drivers have dropped out tonight, so we've only got 19 on the starting grid. KOL Fighter is amongst them this evening. He's 8th, so he could see a few positional improvements if he brings home some decent points this evening. Andy Crane 9th, and it's Renville rounding out the top 10. He's only just ahead of Alren in 11th, Hendricks in 12th, WTR in that Ferrari, 90 points so far from the races. 13th he is overall, with Buzzy and Blue Mosquito 14th and 15th. For Melson down in 17th, hasn't featured in 2 of the rounds. Bruno as well. He's only raced twice, but first place and a 4th mean that he's definitely going to be one to watch for podium spots towards the end of the season. Brandon Glover and Boslad 19th and 20th at corner that we saw on screen. He is in 21st. A change of car mid-season means that he lost. Oh no, I do apologise, that was Flying From. That was Flying From, I do apologise. Yeah, Art Connor is still in the same Aston Martin Mix 64 in the McLaren. I know that Flying From did change cars, so he's lost a couple of points. We've got Casper, Ollie and Jazzman down there as well. G Harvey is racing, so is Bozzy, so is Arms. The other 3 not at the moment. We're into qualifying. We can see that just up on the top screen. Let's just make sure that's doing that. And yeah, as I was saying, it is a brand new circuit. Let's have a look and see what the drivers will be dealing with. We're on board with Milden. Okay, we can look behind, but we can't move through the drivers. Okay. So yeah, we'll stay on board with Milden at the moment. And we can actually have a quick look left and right. There we can see we're coming through big, long, treble right-hander all the way around. Big, long corner. Then tight left. Right, that's the... Can't seem to get back to spectator car. So bear with me a second, let me just... That's new one. Arms is taking the lead, 2 minutes 8.1. He's taking pole position. That's really strange. Why would I go back to... I won't go back to spectator car. Bear with me a second. Let's just jump out and jump back in. We'll cover that up as well, just so I can type in the password. Fun and games, fun and games. That's done. Thinking out loud while trying to type on a joypad. All the fun of the fair. It's going to be a fun one tonight. The track limits at this course are pretty unforgiving, and the drivers have got an hour to make their way round. So we're likely to see a couple of extra drive-throughs. Right, okay, we'll just leave it at that then. Oh, arms. Is really crabbing there, going full sideways. Yeah, Arms is really letting it go. Up at the front there. Art Corner though. He's just taken pole position as he crosses the line with 207.8. Arms now in second. Nope, just gone back up to first place. 207.7, so 77 ahead of Art Corner. 4 tenths ahead of Renville. Val Wren 10th at the moment. And with the last time, there's G. Harvey joining the group of drivers with a time. Who else? Bozzy, Blue Mosquito jumping in there as well. Still 1.2 of the pace. Renville's within 9/10. Rob 2K, Art Corner, Arms, and TK Drifter. TK Drifter now on the top spot. He now 4 tenths ahead. So the same gap between first and second as there is between fourth and fifth. So that is now 14 that we've got across the line. Getting themselves some opening times set. Yeah, no, that was definitely running. Excellent. And there's Drifter coming in to the pits. I've got Ollie RSR. Romelson's in the pits as well. Cool Races is about to cross the line. Where's he going to go? Hasn't set a lap time yet. Morex, who we've seen with the pole position here. In this competition, sorry, not at this track. Brandon Glover in the Jag as well. But Morex and Cool Racer, and it'll certainly be interesting to see with their opening times come in. 6 minutes left. Ooh. That is through the bank. Tess is a very difficult part of the track. I'm sure we're going to see some struggles. Well, we're going to see some struggles right through this track, of course. Only very recently added to Assetto Corsa Competizione. Of course, only more recently, very recently, been added to consoles, been on the PC for a little bit of time. It's certainly going to be interesting to see how the drivers adapt. It is one of those rather uninteresting courses that doesn't actually have any corner names, just a whole lot of numbers. None of them are even in A. Usually at Mazzano and the likes, you get turn 4A and things, but no, they're all just numbered straight 1 through 20. But we can maybe make some up as we go. We'll see how it goes. Hope everyone is enjoying their Tuesday. This is round number 7 that we're looking to make our way through. 3 rounds to go after this. Still could not be closer up at the top of the championship. Only 2 points separating the top two, 17 points separating the top three. Fourth and fifth are only a point apart, and fifth is only 27 points ahead of sixth place, who isn't actually racing this evening, and he's only got a 5-point gap over seventh. So positions could well be changing this evening. Up at the front, Morex did get a time in there as I was looking at the table, and he's gone second, 2.5 tenths behind TK Drifter. It's still Drifter on a charge though. Yes, sorry, Morex, as we say, where is Cool Racer actually? That was the one we were waiting to see. It's just coming in through turn 16 now. So he's got a little bit of the lap left to go. It's an unbelievably weird, it almost looks like a tomahawk, an upside down tomahawk. The way that thing sits. Built back in 2012. So yeah, back in really doesn't apply to this track. It is relatively new. It was purpose built, of course, for the Formula 1, but IMSA, or built by IMSA and Moto America. NASCAR's been running there as well, so a circuit that's been well used, but definitely F1 deep in its roots. It's the GT3s that are out tonight. Cool Racing crosses the line. Still no time set. We've got 3 minutes left to go. And yeah, it's going to get a bit worrying for Cool Racing now. 3 minutes to go. He really needs this lap to count. He's only going to get a chance for this one and one more. It's only himself, Romelson and Brandon Glover yet to set times. All the RSRs in 16th at the minute with G. Harvey in 15th, Falren and Buzzy 14th and 13th. We've got WTR and Milden in 11th, WTR's in 12th, Bozzies in 10th place, Blue Mosquito in 9th, Renville has just been overtaken by Milden. In fact, Milden up to 8th place, right towards the end of qualifying. Less than 3 minutes to go. KOL Fighters in 7th, Rob in 6th place, Art Corner in 5th, Ams in 4th. Andy Cray is in 3rd, Morex still in that 2nd place, and TK Drifter out in 1st place, taking a little bit for the draw in the background there, but it did all pop up eventually. Barrett's with the follow. Oh, that's the feed from Twix there. TK Drifter crossing the line, so he's going to get this lap. 2 minutes 7 a lap time, so by the time he crosses the line, the time will have expired. Let's see how Cool Racing's getting on. He really needs to be qualifying. Well, he needs to at least set a time. Second in the championship. He's only 2 points behind Drifter. He's going to be starting 17 places behind at this rate, and that definitely won't do his championship chances much good at all. We do have yellow flags waving, not sure why. So it's a one-lap shootout for Cool Racing then. Okay, for some reason it's shown Buzzy as a yellow flag. Where is his car? It's a strange one. Cars are still crossing the line though. We're still getting qualifying time set. Romelson won't be setting the time. Brandon Glover still in with a chance of setting one. Ams is still out on track as well. Morex, who, as I said, has taken pole position in this competition previously. And TK Drifter still out on track as well. Yeah, that is Buzzy, that is stuck there. Romelson. Brandon has got a time set, 3.2 off the pace, but it is a time nonetheless. Coming into 14 and 15. Cool Racing. It's TK Drifter that's in the lead. Rob 2K's putting himself on the front row of the grid. 600s. Off pole position. Morex and Andy Cray. Now third and fourth. That's confirmed with Morex in the pits, although Ams is still out on track. We're still on board with Cool Racing. Second in the championship. Only 2 points behind, but this is going to be a massive difference. Into the last corner. Let's see what he can do. He is the last driver out. And he's pulled up short of the line. Wow, so no time for... Huh? Apologies, Highway Professor. I was just caught by surprise there. Did Cool Racing cross the line? Did he slow down and just roll across the line? He's been given a time, 1.3 seconds off the pace, down in 12th, right in the thick of the mid-pack. Ams has done what he needed to. He's got himself just quicker than Morex to get himself ahead of Morex in the starting lineup. Let's just have a look and see. Rob 2K is still out on track. He is just coming through 16 at the moment. Milden is in the pits. Brandon Glover is just ahead. He's just coming at the final turn now. Will we see any improvement? Still got a minute left on the wait timer. No, 3:22, and that lap has been negated as well. So that is the final qualifying results. Then it is TK Drifter, who's taken one purple sector again. The purple sector has been shared right down the field, and in fact, it's Art Connor in the Aston Martin in 6th place, who is the quickest driver in sector number 1. Morex in sector 3, and TK Drifter with the overall pole position, fastest car in sector number 2. Rob 2K in second, Ams in third, Morex joining Ams on row number 2 with Andy Cray and Art Connor on row 3, starting in 5th and 6th. Row 4, it's Milden and KOL Fighter behind them. On row number 5 will be Renville in 9th and Blue Mosquito in 10th. Bozzy and Cool Racing will start 11th and 12th with WTR and Buzzy in 13th and 14th. Val Wren and G Harvey 15th and 16th. And behind them on row number 9 will be Ollie, RSR and Brandon Glover. Mr. Romelson, the only driver not to set a time. So he'll be starting in 15th position. And I believe if we do that and do that. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do, is it? Nope, definitely not. Yep, we can leave that there. That is perfect. And what we'll do... well, that's all loading up. Just a quick reminder, this is round number 7. The Autodrome di Imola is where we started off. Terrible at time. We followed it up with more Italian treats at Misano. The 90 minutes at Brands Hatch, followed by Bathurst Zolder. And then a 90-minute race at Monza, all safely tucked under the belt. And in the rear view mirror is Circuit of the Americas this evening. For the PS5 drivers, they will be following up with Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, and then 90 minutes of Laguna Seca. That one will be an absolute cracker. If you were interested in helping support the efforts by a Formula Racing League, bringing you ACC racing on console and on PC. Then jump on over to formularacingleague.co.uk. You can get all the details, the Facebook, the Instagram, and of course the Twitch page as well. Feel free to hit a like and subscribe on this video as well. Thank you very much indeed. For our FRL patrons, there are 3 tiers: supporter, elite, and alien. All 3 tiers will receive a driver number, a reserved seat for free, and an FRL lotto entry. I believe it was £30 that was won at the last draw, so that will start accumulating once again. If you're an FRL elite level patron, you'll also receive a number logo, some coaching, and the new to PC sim racing guide as soon as it becomes available. And if you are an alien level supporter, you'll also receive an overlay banner, yearly prizes, a SimHub Dash, some Elgato ACC icons, and a custom livery, all to boot. So yeah, as I say, over on Patreon or formularacingleague.co.uk is the place you can get that done. There is our drivers out on track, the 2012 track that is the Circuit of the Americas. Relatively new, less than 12 years, in fact only just on a decade old. Now that I actually do the maths properly, it is 2022 after all. It's built in 2012, and it's only very recently been added to ACC on both PC and more recently on console. So a lot of these drivers, it will be their first competitive outing here at the circuit. Still not quite 100% sure what happened with Cool Racing with his time. It seemed to have glitched. The cars seem a bit glitchy on the grid. Hopefully everything will run nice and smoothly. But TK Drifter, could this be the one? We're 7 races in. He leads the championship by 2 points, and he's yet to step on the top spot of the podium. Could this be his first one and done? It would certainly be a nice way to do it. Brand new track, take pole position and lead it all the way to the end. A mandatory pit stop, of course, as always, for the drivers to navigate. 1 hour race this week, so it is only the one mandatory pit stop that they've got to get themselves through. But still, as and when, could be vitally important, as we saw over the last couple of races. The undercuts and overcuts working with varying rates of success for various drivers coming out in traffic. Certainly seems to have caught a few of them out over the series. So who's going to be the first one to come in? A relatively long lap, giving us 2 minutes and 7. Certainly longer than Bathurst, not quite as long as Spa, but certainly giving it a run for its money. So it is going to be a long warm-up lap, and it's certainly going to be a long hour this evening for the drivers. Oh no, there we go, it's all running. Sorry, my game sound just tapped out there for a moment. I thought it was froze, but nope, we're all good. I do let myself get a bit nervous when the audio goes a bit funky. Who do we think is going to win this evening? Tell ya. Yeah, no, I will remain completely impartial this evening. There will be no Ferrari favouritism. Definitely not. No, not here. But no, who do we think you win? Milden primely poised there in 7th position. If you could avoid any lap 1 Cummings together. TK Drifter, Rob 2K. Obviously up at the front row of the grid. AMS and Morex there. We know that Morex has got some real pace. I've seen the McLaren do decent things around here as well. I have heard the Porsche struggles around here. We don't have any on the grid to put that to the test. Certainly the Nissan leading the way, followed by the Bentley. Bentley's making a bit of a comeback, it would seem. They were definitely the go-to car for a very long time in a lot of competitions. And certainly fallen by the wayside, but 2 of them out of the track. 2nd and 18th. So it's very much separated. One at either end, or one at either end, or both at either end, sorry, of the championship. 2nd from the start and 2nd from the back. BMW up there in the hands of Andy Gray as well, just ahead at Art Corner. And the Mercedes, it doesn't look like they do very well around here either, given that we know Milden has got some phenomenal qualifying pace. Cool Racing is not shy of a quick lap or two in quali either. Cool's average qualifying position 4th this season, down in 12th there. And Milden, yeah, pretty much his average starting position 4th as well. So quite a few positions down. So the Mercedes perhaps struggling here. Just a bit much, but decent race strategy. They could well be in the hunt for that one. Yeah, so that is the 2 Mercedes. As I say, Andy Gray in the Bentley, Art Connor and the Aston Martin, definitely one to watch as well. And Rob 2K, he will certainly be buoyed by the fact that he's got himself on the front row of the grid in qualifying, and a good 2-3 tenths ahead of AMS as well. So a decent performance there. So the Nissan and the Bentley certainly outgunning the Audi in quali. How will the Audi and the McLaren there on row number 2 respond during the race? Buzzy and Valren and the other 2 McLarens well down the order. And G. Harvey in the Honda, expecting the Honda to be like, although he's not actually in the Honda, is he? Is this one of the glitch ones? No, yeah, he is in the Honda. Oh yeah, but somebody backed out last week to get a different car. Or they picked the wrong car on the way in, so it was showing the wrong car at the time, of course. Well, that's all fine. There I come towards the last corner, so it's 1 hour. 1 hour's worth of tarmac trading to decide where the rest of this championship is going to go. There's only 2 points separating the top 2, but there's 11 places separating them on the grid. And it's championship leader TK Drifter who is leading the way. Rob 2K looks like he's right along beside. A few of the cars in the background, that's the Ferrari just moving on the right. There's the green lights moving away. Everyone away first time, absolutely beautifully. No one out of position, and it's Rob 2K finds himself trying to get a move done. Nope, he has been closed off already. And the Audi at AMS is up the inside with 3 wide in the background as Moritz makes it through safely. Andy Gray and the BMW following with Art Connor coming down the hill right behind the KOL fighter, making it through beautifully as well. In fact, the whole field looks like they've got through absolutely first time through a very difficult turn number 1. And the timing boards has just dropped us right back up to Rob 2K, who is up in 2nd place. There's G. Harvey, Ollie RSR and Melson. Oh, and we do have Valren down. Valren started up in 15th position. Finds himself down the field. In fact, it's Brandon Glover just getting his way past G. Harvey, looking for a move on Buzzy as well. And Romelson wasting no time, starting from the back of the grid, making his way through the field. Cool Racing as well. He's trying to put the pressure on the triple Ferraris, the WTR, KOL fighter and Bozzy 46. There's Milden just ahead of them. Art Connor, Morex, Andy Cray all within 2 tenths of one another. It's AMS in 3rd place. Oh, Art Connor looking for a big move up the inside of Morex. Has he gotten this apex? He absolutely has. And Aston making that one look very easy indeed. He's up in the 5th place at the expense of Morex. Andy Cray still in 4th. Ahead of him in the same colour scheme is AMS in the Audi. It's Rob 2K and TK Drifter comfortably leading the field. Already 1.3 seconds of a gap he has got, no bigger. That is about the biggest gap we've got throughout the whole field as we come towards the end of lap number 1. Oh, and we can see Morex trying to get that position back, looking for a move on that corner, not to be just in the background then. That is Cool Racing and Renville. Renville and Cool Racing, they're battling for positions as well. KOL Fighter and WTR still ahead of them. KOL Fighter, in fact, trying to get a move on WTR much later on the brakes into turn number 1. And he makes that look very easy indeed. Cool Racer, we hope to follow him through it as Renville and Blue Mosquito applying the pressure behind him. Buzzy still in 14th, Brandon Glover in the Jag, still in 15th position. G. Harvey down in 16th. Val Wren has come into the pits. Romelson still bringing up the rear of the field at the moment. Then Art Corner right in the thick of things. He's got right up on the back of Andy Cray, and he's already made up a position since the start of the race. And he looks like he is trying to get another one. Oh, and much later on the race again, having a big look around the outside. No room to pass there. And Morix now finding himself under a lot of pressure from Milden. With Bozzy getting tucked in there as well. WTR right behind KOL Fighter still with Blue Mosquito and Renville. As you can see, them all coming along with the big, long straight. Down into turn at number 14. Oh, there's Renville having a look. We saw the same move by Art Corner on the previous lap. Oh, and he's just turned in. There's been a bit of contact on the way in there, and Blue Mosquito's going to make the most of it. And so is Buzzy by the looks of it. The momentum really was lost there by Cool Racer. Blue Mosquito. He's gone round the outside, bit of snap oversteer. And it's going to be a tricky one for a lot of these drivers. Art Corner down, and that's Milden. Milden then, there was definitely more than one or two cars separating Milden and Art Corner, but something's gone wrong there, and Milden's still waiting, so perhaps he feels slightly at fault for what just happened there. Perhaps he was slowing right down to make sure Art Corner got past, but that's a big change in the positions. Morix in 4th place then. Andy Cray looking for a move there into turn number 1 up the hill. Nothing doing at the moment, but he's certainly applying that pressure, and got Bozzy, KOL Fire and WTR just behind. Buzzy in 12th with Brandon Glover right round the outside of turn number 1, takes the apex into turn number 2. Beautiful move there, as we are seeing Ollie trying to go past G. Harvey as well. The Honda driver getting put under all sorts of pressure there. Val Wren has come in and out of the pits. Cool Racing in. Milden and Art Corner now 16th and 17th, and behind Romelson. Another very quick driver down at the back of the field. Ollie RSR, the BMW, the Bentley driver, sorry, that started in 18th position, now finds himself up to 14th after that early coming together between Milden and Corner. And up at the front. Oh, did somebody just run off there? No. And over the front, yeah, Andy Cray and Morix. So Morix found himself dropping a couple of positions. He's been re-gifted them. And he's back up to 4th place. TK Drifter, not wasting any time. We're only 6 minutes in. He's already 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. It's Rob 2K who is leading the way. He's got a 2.5 back to Arms. Arms at 2 seconds back to Morix, and Andy Cray just half a second inside there. So, excuse me. There we go, sorry about that. Unwanted tickle in the throat does happen occasionally when you talk as quickly as I do. It does come back to bite you every now and again. We've seen some fantastic battling on the track though, between Buzzy and Brandon Glover. The two of them exchanging places. It's the battle for 11th at the moment. Brandon started outside the top 15 and not far behind them, in fact, at Connor and Milden. Still very much getting involved in a battle. Was still running on the assumption the two of them had a little bit of a coming together. Didn't actually see anything, but we did see Milden hang about and wait until Connor had gotten ahead of him. And now it looks like he's re-got that overtake done. I'm sure we'll find out afterwards what's happened there. Val Wren though, himself and Cool Racing both in to get their mandatory pit stops done, so a long stint for them ahead, just crossing the 50 minutes remaining mark. Buzzy managing to keep himself ahead of Brandon Glover through this phase of the lap. Arms, the driver, in third place, and Morex is getting himself, he's managing to maintain the gap, back to that BMW in fifth place, 1.6 seconds there. So the drivers up at the front doing exactly what they need to do. Let's get some gratuitous Nissan GTR footage here, although a bit blurry in the back end as he comes through the foreground. There we go, 6 laps in. And it is TK Drifter very comfortably leading the way. He's leading the championship by 2 points, and his main rival currently down in 18th position. Milden, who's in third in the championship, currently down in 13th position. So to say this is an ideal time for TK Drifter to bring home his first championship race win is somewhat of an understatement. He could really propel himself ahead of the rest of the field. Arms as well, he might be close to 30 points, in fact 32 points behind Milden, but he's about to finish ahead of him by the, well, I say that, we've still got 40 minutes. It's a bit of a stretch, but certainly from what we've seen at Arms, he's definitely capable of bringing this one home. So it will indeed be interesting to see if he can improve on his position. He's got Rob 2K just ahead of him. Could well take him in the pits, but this would do his championship the absolute world of good going into Indianapolis next week if he could finish this far ahead of his main two rivals. Blue Mosquito in the Lambos hunting down Renville at the moment, who in turn hunting down WTR, but up the front is still this little battle for fourth place, and Bozzy in fact just hanging about in the back of this KOL fighter. So still very close up at the front within the top 11. Well, actually, okay, 10 drivers, second through 11. TK Drifter does have that fairly impressive lead. Morex does have a bit of a gap up to Arms, but the rest of them are still well within sight of one another. It's Buzzy furthest down the road. It's Brandon Glover who's still trying to chase down there, but he now finds himself defending from corner and more pressingly Milden, although Milden looks like he's going to have to go full defend from the Aston Martin. Oh, the Aston using every single millimetre of that curb that he can as they come across the start-finish line. There's going to be a lot of slipstream being shared between these three drivers. Brandon will be doing all the sharing. Oh, and there we go. Almost 3 wide there. Milden absolutely rockets up. Oh, and they've made contact. Oh, they've made contact on the way in there. That's Brandon Glover being ejected from this battle then. Cool Racing's got himself ahead of G. Harvey, who is still on track for him, and Ollie RSR. The other two drivers that have taken that pit. There's Brandon just missed his brakes there. And it looks like he's returned to garage, unfortunately. So I'm not sure if he sustained some damage and clipped that wall just as he came off, and it did look like a bit of contact in turn 1 with himself and Milden. Connor still applying the pressure to Milden, trying to retake that position. These two have been battling for the entirety of the race so far. 6 laps done, and it's almost 15 minutes of racing under the drivers' belts. So very long laps indeed. We're 6 laps in. Oh, the Ferrari Bozzi in the background just getting a little bit out of shape there, but did somehow managed to gather that up and keep his momentum going in the right-ish direction. He's certainly closed in ever so slightly on Andy Cray. Morex now enjoying a bit more of a gap behind him. He'll certainly be looking to try and close in on Arms. He's got a big old 5.7 second gap. So the 3 podium drivers at the moment all sitting fairly comfortably, although Rob 2K probably the least comfortable of them all, given that Arms is definitely making some headway there. Bozzi definitely making headway on Andy Cray through turn 22 there. Up the hill into turn number 1. Will we see another move? Nope. We've seen plenty of attempted overtakes there. Bozzi decides to pump the brakes on this attempt, avoids the contact, and also avoids taking that position at Connor and Milden coming into turn number 1. Connor with a big sweep in again, looking to go round the outside into turn number 2. But Mercedes positioned, I think, right in the middle of the track. Yes, he is. Takes the defensive line as you would expect. Art Connor looking to get round either side he can through the back. Yes, is around the right hand corner, just looking to see which car's going to run out of grip first. These two running very close indeed in that aero in the slipstream backwash. Our Connor's going to be very careful he doesn't carry a bit more pace into some of these corners than he anticipates. I tell you, as well, Andy Cray now finds himself under a lot of pressure from Bozzi then. Did say that Morex was enjoying a bit more clear air behind him over the last couple of laps. Certainly not as much as TK Drifter is, but it's certainly extricating himself from the battle behind him. What a battle it's turning out to be. Bozzi all over the back of that BMW, and if this keeps up, KOL Fighter is going to be joining in this battle sooner rather than later. Could he be another one of these beneficiaries of a 2-spot over? Oh, and we've got Art Connor, who's returned back to the pits as well, unfortunately. Milden just ahead of him then, 12th. Buzzy in 11th. Blue Mosquito in 10th place. I thought there was a bit of damage on Renville's car, but it's not. He's in 9th. WTR, KOL Fighter and Bozzi, the 3 Ferraris, still 8th, 7th and 6th. Although certainly looking to make an improvement on that at the expense of Andy Cray. We'll see into turn number 1 once again. Another overtake attempt, and it is Bozzi who's going for the move on Andy Cray. Andy Cray looking for a big old cutback, swings the nose right across here, and this KOL Fighter coming down the hill. Oh, he's just a bit too far back there. I thought he was going to get right involved in that battle straight away then, but certainly Bozzi getting that overtake done. He now finds himself up into 5th, but Andy Cray certainly not for letting go anytime soon. KOL Fighter there in the background, just closing in on that battle as well. Renville within striking distance of Blue Mosquito. Art Connor still in the pit, so's Brandon, unfortunately. All the others are Val Ren and Cool Racing, they've all taken their pit stops. G. Harvey still needs to take him as he's running down in 16th place. Val Ren and Ollie, it looks like they'll both overtake him as soon as he comes into the pits. He really needs to get his foot down towards the end of the race. He's still got 40 minutes to go. If he's going to hold on to that 16th position, it's certainly going to be a task. Just having a look at the timings of the Ferrari, and Andy Cray now finds himself right in the middle of these three, and it's KOL Fighter who's right behind him, and it is Bozzi who has gotten himself ahead. And starting to get a little bit of a gap there. I think definitely being aided by the fact that Andy Cray is now having to defend from KOL Fighter. And as soon as he defends, if KOL the Fighter does get the overtake done, we're going to find WTR, another Ferrari driver, potentially looking to take the BMW's position. 9 laps in, TK Drifter, fastest lap of the race so far, and a 5-second gap over the Bentley of Rob 2K. Arms in third still, with Morex in fourth, Bozzy in fifth place, Andy Cray in sixth, it's KOL Fighter in seventh, WTR in eighth, Blue Mosquito in ninth, with Renville in 10th place, Buzzy is in 11th, Romelson in 12th, it's Cool Racing and G Harvey 13th and 14th. Cool Racing's taken his mandatory pit stop. There's Valren just behind G Harvey then. And Ollie RSR in 16th, he's taking his pit as well. Connor and Brandon Glover both retiring 2 pits. So it looks like their race is run and done already, 2 laps down. So only 7 laps in. Which is unfortunate for those two, most definitely, especially when it's a brand new track. Really would be nice, I'm sure, for them to get as much time out on track under their belt as they could. TK Drifter is coming up towards the drivers that have taken their pit stop, so that is Valren. That is the next car on track. So he's going to be coming to lap now, so he's got a decision to make. Oh, we've got a car. Oh, that's Romelson just come off then. Through turn number 11. So he was just getting a yellow flag there, so he's definitely been slowed down. He's in 12th at the moment. Oh, the car not looking happy there at all. Not looking happy at all. Managed to steady on the brakes there though. So yeah, he's maybe flattened the tyres a little bit. Definitely don't want to do that too much. Our race, 31-degree track temperature. And a mandatory pit stop to take. We hope to get themselves in and out as quickly as possible. Yep, okay, so I'm still running KOL Fighter. We've got joy, we've got a bot. Okay, hopefully we can get rid of that. Please ignore the messages in the chat. Don't be clicking any of the links. They'll only bring bad things to your PC. Let's see. Valreni's actually closed up since last. We'll have a look. He's closed up a second on G Harvey, so he's going to get that overtake done before the pits. So Melson and WTR in the pits. So Melson, we did see him off track, so I wonder if that is a damage or tyre change. Buzzy making his way out. WTR making his way out the pits as well. KOL Fighter and Andy Cray. Less than a second separating them from Bozzy at the moment. So Andy Cray playing a bit of ping pong at the minute between the two Ferraris. Now he's got himself between them. Can't quite get ahead of Bozzy, but he is managing to defend from KOL Fighter. WTR. He was that third Ferrari. He's now been overtaken by Blue Mosquito and Renville and the gang. He's also been overtaken by Cool Racing. which certainly bodes well. We'll see if that is actually accurate when they come through the timing board. But yeah, no, cool racing then. So that early pit stop has worked out well for him. He is ahead, so he's definitely up someplace about 7th or 8th then at the moment. So yeah, certainly a great start to a recovery drive. Given that he's ahead of a driver that pitted from 8th. So that's certainly promising. There's still a battle between Andy Cray and Bozzy. He's coming down the hill, and in fact it's Andy Cray who's got himself ahead. As we rejoin, it is Andy Cray who is back up to 5th position. That's Bozzy and KOL Fighter now behind him. So these three still swapping positions, and Arms as well. I did say the podium was looking pretty settled at the moment. Arms, not so much. He has closed to within half a second. There's Bozzy. They've just come through the board right on time. In fact, Bozzy's retaken that position there as we looked up to see the battle between 2nd and 3rd. 5th place has changed hands again. That is 5th and 6th position. It's Bozzy in 5th now. Andy Cray in 6th. KOL Fighter still on the back of this battle. He must surely be thinking his luck is in here. The ways these two are battling, he's bound to be able to pick up a position or two, depending on how it goes. The Ferrari very quickly through that right-hander and back out onto the left, onto those exit curbings. It doesn't come into the pits, but we did see G. Harvey there just in the foreground in his Honda coming to the pits, and KOL Fighter has come into the pits as well. So he's done with battling with these two. There's Blue Mosquito just coming around the last corner with Renville close in tow. And there is Cool Racing. Racing along the back straight into turn number 14. How far behind the pits is he going to be? Is he going to get ahead of KOL Fighter as well? It's going to be close. WTR was ahead of him, although Valrent and Buzzy look like they're going to pop in there as well. They are not far behind Cool Racing at all. This Renville through. Now up in 8th, chasing down Blue Mosquito and Andy Cray. Still him and Bozzy completely inseparable, much like Arms and Rob 2K. Now Drifter with a 6-second gap. Rob and Arms only separated by that 1 second, and Andy Cray and Bozzy not being separated by much at all at the moment. Swapping places as they are. This KOL Fighter making his way out of the pits. There is Cool Racing just coming into the last corner. That's the pit entrance there. And KOL Fighter has been released. So WTR is going to find himself much further down the road than KOL Fighter has. There's Cool Racing only just crossing at the start-finish line now, coming up into turn number 1. So KOL Fighter, I'm thinking he's taking a much quicker pit stop than WTR, because WTR was right in there with that group of Ferraris. And then finds himself well down the track in comparison to where KOL Fighter's come out. KOL Fighter just coming toward... Oh, there's Arms coming into the pits. Sorry, just I'm checking what corners. What there is... 3rd place come into the pits. Yeah, that was turns 10 and 11. So is Bozzy come into the pits as well. So he's dispensed with the battle with Andy Cray for the moment. He's joining Blue Mosquito and Arms in to get their mandatory pit stops done. So, again, it'll be interesting. Where is KOL Fighter going to be? He's certainly a lot further along than Cool Racing was. Cool Racing just exiting turn 11. When we saw KOL Fighter exit the pits, Cool Racing was just making his way into turn number 10. So this is going to be very close between KOL Fighter and Bozzy potentially. Oh, drive through for track limits. Ollie RSR. Excuse me, and that must have been right at the end of the lap as well. because it just dropped down 2 laps off his counter there, straight from 3 to 2. This KOL fighter, where is he now? He's just coming into turn number 22. There's Bozzy in the Ferrari leaving the pits. There's KOL fighter, he's on the start-finish straight. Bozzy has been released, but KOL fighter is going at full speed. But into turn number 1, it's going to be Bozzy all on his own. There's KOL fighter coming into turn number 1 now. That gap's certainly a bit bigger than it was before they came into the pits. What can Andy Cray then get done on his in laps? He is going to be coming in to get a pit. There's 30 minutes left. It's halfway through the race. 13 laps completed. It's about to get a lot longer for Ollie RSR as well. That drive-through certainly won't help. 7.3 seconds is the gap that TK Drifter had. Rob 2K straight into the pit, so we'll change that sentence and we'll just go with Morex now. Will take the lead of the race. It's just bang on as it comes up on the screen there. Halfway mark in the race. 29 minutes, in fact 28 minutes 50 seconds left of the pit timer, or on the pit window, sorry. Morex promoted to the lead. Andy Cray now up in 4th, with Renville being promoted into 3rd position. Arms the lead car out on track to have taken their pit stop. Morex and TK Drifter still very much stationary. Arms coming towards turn number 16 now. So he's got that big, long right-hander to navigate. Then the double left, and he'll be on the start-finish straight once again. TK Drifter already moving very comfortably indeed. This Rob 2K on his way as well. Ollie RSR being reminded he's got 1 lap left to take that drive-through for track limits. Well, it will unfortunately be a disqualification. Out of the pits there, that's Ollie RSR just getting out of the way of the race leader. Rob 2K still in second then. How close is Arms though? Very close indeed. Very close indeed. That is definitely not the 63 seconds that we can see on screen. The next time we get ourselves through a time in Delta, which will be in 2 corners time. There's 1, there's 2. 3.3 seconds is now separating Arms and Rob 2K. So Rob stretching a bit of a gap then. It was certainly a lot closer than that before they came into the pits. TK Drifter, he's done his job as well, though. That was roughly about 7 seconds. So it looks like he's actually gained about another half a second through the pit stops. So absolutely flawless performance so far by TK Drifter, and he's got a lot of clear track ahead of him. In fact, the next car to him is Romelson, who has pitted. I know he's no slouch, and yeah, not really anybody too close to Romelson. Car 14, that's Renville. Oh, he's just coming into the pit. So's Morex. So that's 2 of the last 3 coming in to take their pit. Andy Cray, he's stayed out. TK Drifter already well through turn 16 on his way into 17. Oh no, he's ahead. He's even further ahead than that. He's coming into turn 22. He's right into the last turn. So yeah, Morex and Renville, we didn't know they were going to comfortably be overtaken. Rob 2K should get through as well. And Arms, I believe, will as well. There's Morex being released. Was up around 4th, 5th position. Still got 2 drivers, or 1 driver still to pit. Whoa. A bit of tail slide there. On the way, this all the RSR coming in the pits to take his drive-through penalty. TK Drifter is ahead of Morex. Renville leaving the pits. Rob 2K. Yep, he's ahead as well. Morex is behind Arms as well. And ahead of Renville. So that's potentially still 4th place then for Morex, but Andy Cray still out on track, hasn't taken his mandatory pit stop yet, so will have to do so. Right, oh, he's missed his pit. He missed it on the way. Sorry, I was trying to see if I could find a way to delete those messages. But Andy Cray has missed the entrance to the pits there. That's certainly not what he needed under the circumstances. He's going to have to hope for a very quick stop now. TK Drifter will be re-promoted to the lead of the race. Yep, so he is going to comfortably retake the lead. Andy Cray. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes back out. Should be behind Morex and ahead of Bozzy, or behind Bozzy and ahead of KOL Fighter, someplace in that region. We're going to find out very soon indeed. Still stationary. TK Drifter already through. Rob 2K of course through. Arms as well. Morex is through. Bozzy is through. Andy Cray's still stationary. Wow, so I think he's maybe got a lot of damage from that impact. KOL Fighter is through. Andy Cray is still stationary. Oh, and now he's moving again. That's going to be a huge drop in position. Blue Mosquito. Cool Racing potentially going to get this one done as well. In fact, he definitely is. He's already on his way into turn number 1. Andy Cray still crawling out of the pit box under pit limiter conditions. There is Buzzy on the start-finish straight now. And there's Andy Cray. What will feel like an eternity. Finally being released into the wild and into turn number 1. But a big drop in position there for the BMW. Driver now finds himself in 10th place. Behind Cool Racing, who's up into 8th. Is in 9th, sorry. Blue Mosquito in 8th place. Renville in 7th. KOL Fighter in 6th. Bozzy in 5th place. Morex in 4th. Arms in 3rd place. Rob 2K in 2nd. And it is 16 laps in. 23 minutes left to go. The Nissan GTR of Morex. Sorry, TK Drifter. He's taken pole position tonight here this evening. Could he be bringing home his maiden victory in the series? It's certainly looking very likely. 7.5 seconds still is the gap he has over the rest of the field. And he really has not looked like putting a foot wrong throughout the whole race. So very, very, very worthy winner if he does bring this one home. Certainly hope he does. Rob 2K is still in 2nd. Arms in 3rd with Morex. Definitely has made it back up to 4th. They've got a big gap back to Bozzy, KOL Fighter. WTR, not sure what happened there. But he was hanging in there with the other 2 Ferraris. And he now finds himself, as I say, well down the order. He's got Buzzy, Andy Cray, Cool Racing, Blue Mosquito and Renville all ahead of him. Oh, there's a Ferrari making a mistake. That's Bozzy just down through turn number 2. And it looks like he might have given up the position to KOL Fighter. He's having a look. They're going side by side through those S's. And decide against it. I was going to say it's a brave driver. They go side by side through there. I've seen a few come a cropper. Just in the background there, Renville will be lurking. He'll certainly be hoping these two keep up these lively exchanges so he can get closed in. Potentially sneak himself to position improvement. Let me just see. So I'm just trying to get rid of some of these bot comments that we've got in the chat. But yeah, not to me, still there. But yeah, back to the racing. And it is 20 minutes to go. Excuse me. Oh, look how close those Ferraris are getting. Still, the battle for 5th place rages on. It has done since pretty much the start of the race. Is now being fought between KOL Fighter and Buzzy. KOL just giving him a few flashes of the lights there. Trying to distract him, trying to find a chink in the armour to get that overtake. Rob 2K as well. I'm not sure if TK Drifter is hit a bit of traffic, or if Rob 2K is just driving like a man possessed. But the gap there has closed ever so slightly. It's 0.6 of a second, but it is the first time we've seen it in decline since the start of the race. 19 minutes left to go. And we're really a bit in for a grandstand finish between these two up at the front. Could be. KOL Fighter and Buzzy. Buzzy is in a McLaren down in 11th. Trying to get past Andy Cray. It's Buzzy in the Ferrari, who is fending off fellow Ferrari KOL Fighter. These two now separated by not much at all. Just having a look at it, it's still only 15 out on track at the minute. Brandon Glover retired to the pits. Cool Racing's out back. Cool Racing is out. He's inside the top 10. I can't remember who the other driver that retired was. But we'll find out on the final results board. KOL Fighter now dropping off ever so slightly then. This is the first time we've seen the gap increase since these two came out the pits as well. Rob 2K is still finding time on TK Drifter as well at the moment. That gap now down to 7 seconds. Yeah, even at a second second a lap won't quite have time to catch up. 17 minutes left to go. They're going to be lucky to get 8 laps done. But certainly Rob at the moment is the quicker of the two. As we see TK Drifter heading towards turn 11. And there's Rob heading the same way. Arms in third, Morrick still in fourth. With Bozzy and KOL Fighter still battling just behind. Although that gap there stretched out as well. Ollie RSR has served the drive-through for the track limits. Only seen one driver receive a track limit penalty this evening. I was definitely expecting quite a few more, especially given what we saw at Misano. Double and triple penalty. 2 doubles. Drive-throughs that we saw for drivers for breaching the track limits, especially through this S section here, 6 through 8. Very easy to breach the track limits. But at the moment it is Ollie, the only driver with the unwanted distinction of receiving an in-game track violation penalty, and that extra trip into the pits. It has seen him come out in 15th place, so last on track, but he will still get some points for finishing in 15th, which is good to see. Ahead of him, Melson in 14th, Valren in 13th, WTR in 12th, Buzzy in 11th place, Andy Cray in 10th. It is Cool Racing in 9th, Blue Mosquito in 8th, Renville in 7th, it's KOL Fighter in 6th, Bozzy in 5th, Morix in 4th place, Arms in 3rd, Rob 2K in 2nd place, and TK Drifter still with that lead. It was 7.1 seconds the last time we looked, just over a minute ago, 7.2 seconds. So he's found another 10th there. Just re-establishing that dominance. As I say, that's the first time the gap had dropped between these two drivers for the entire race. Drifter now once again seeing fit to increase it. So the Nissan driver, this is going to do him the world of good in the championship. As I keep mentioning, he's got a 2-point gap at the moment over Cool Racing and a 17-point gap over Milden. Milden no longer in the race. That's one of the drivers that we're missing. And Cool Racing down in 9th position. So indeed, Arms in 4th in the championship. He's 49 points off the lead, 32 points behind Milden, but no points for Milden this evening, and Arms on the podium. I did say this championship wouldn't be decided until the last 7 drivers had crossed the line on the final on the final race, or on the final race day, and I definitely stand by this. If you keep in mind that Jetpack and Nebula, one of the drivers, not racing this evening, Hendricks not with us as well, neither is Bruno. All of them capable of winning races and be back next week for Indianapolis, I'm absolutely sure. We've got that yellow flag in the pits. Right, okay, there must be something up with the pits here in Circuit of America, because that's the second card that showed us a yellow flag, but they're in the pit lane. So for some reason, Romelson, I don't know if he's not quite in his pit box. No, but he's showing a yellow flag, so hopefully no one tries to overtake in the last corner. And that is another blue flag there. So Valren running pretty comfortably now at the moment. Big gap back and forward there in 13th place. WTR, again, he'll be disappointed with 12th, I'm sure, given that he was up fighting with Bozzy and KOL Fighter, who now find themselves in 5th and 6th place. Bozzy looking to be the faster of the two in these closing stages. Now 1.3 seconds separate these two drivers. We've seen everyone come in and take their mandatory pit stops, so 11 hours and 40 minutes of the remaining pit window will of course go unused, or at least that I'm sure is plan A for all the drivers. Definitely don't want to go risking too much. Oh, I was just about to say, the last thing you want to do is have another unsanctioned trip into the pits. Or unforced, or this is a forced trip in the pits, not a mandatory one. But yeah, Cool Racing just falling foul of the track limits there. Is this one going to be a grandstand finish for all the wrong reasons? That is going to drop Cool down the order, unfortunately. Andy Cray, Buzzy, and no doubt WTR are all potentially going to make good on Cool Racing's bad luck. They are just down the road as well, yeah, so it's going to be a big fall down the order for Cool Racing. So this could not have played out any better for TK Drifter. I'm sure he's not wishing ill on any of his competitors, but the fact that he's closest to, I've got a DNF, and in the closing 10-ish minutes, the other one has got themselves a drive-through penalty. And he's come past the penalty. He's got 3 laps, of course, to take the penalty. That's a long time around this course, that is for sure. Is Romelson out on track? What's going on there? Nope, that'll mess up the cameras if I hit drive. Don't do that. Let's just have a look up at the front. Let's keep an eye on TK Drifter then. Absolutely flawless performance. This will be his third trip onto the podium. Only once all season has he been outside the top 5, and that was to finish 6th. He's been on the podium twice already, both silvers, never a bronze, and more importantly, never a gold. But he's certainly looking to rectify that this evening. He is just going through 16, so he's got 10 minutes left on the clock. By the time he crosses the line, it's going to be about 9 minutes 15 seconds left. And he will have, therefore, about 4 laps left. In fact, it'll be slightly longer than 9:15. 9:45-ish, 9:50. Yep, so he's going to get 4 or 5 laps just under his belt. Rob 2K will definitely be on that lead lap. As you can see, they're just in the background. Getting slightly darker and slightly colder. Track temperatures drop by 3 degrees at least since the race started. So lighter cars with less fuel and slightly colder track. Hopefully the tyre temperatures are all living up to what they're expected, or what is expected of them, sorry. Bozzy and KOL Fighter certainly living up to everything we'd expect from these two. Very quick, clean, consistent laps and a great wholehearted battle between the two of them. But as Bozzy got the upper hand at the moment, KOL Fighter certainly not letting go though. As we see him wrestle the car through turn number 1 down the hill towards turn number 2. Reminder on screen, Cool Racing has got that drive-through penalty to take. He's got 1 lap left to take it. Definitely doesn't want the 180-second penalty that goes along with that, is for sure. So yeah, so 8 minutes left to go. Actually, I know I'm missing a couple of drivers, but it's not showing us there at the moment, so that's fine. Let's just watch TK Drifter. Rob TK, and now within 6.8 seconds. TK Drifter perhaps just taking it a bit easy. He knows he has got this one in the bag. 8 minutes left to go. Just needs to keep this between the mayo and the mustard, and the race win will undoubtedly be his. That's the point. Excellent. It's looking very spread out at the moment. Romelson, he'll be happy he stayed in though. Had a couple of issues early doors. Finds himself in 15th place. But he is 5 laps down. I think he is stuck in the pits. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, he is stationed just in the pit, so he isn't going to finish in 15th. He is going to get any points. It's Ollie RSR in 14th place, running last at the moment. Val Ren in 13th. WTR, Buzzy and Andy Cray 12th, 11th and 10th. Cool Racing going to come into the pits to take that pit stop. So Andy Cray, he is instantly going to be promoted. Buzzy and WTR not too far behind either. Cool Racing is on a drive-through. So this could be quite a quick one. There's Buzzy into the last corner and out again, so he is going to get that position. WTR, he's just coming at the braking zone for the last corner now. There's the pit entrance on his left, our right. Drive through cleared. You can hear Cool Racing's engine lighting up. Buzzy's already down towards turn number 2, and WTR hasn't quite got the overtake done, but he's certainly going to be a lot closer than he was. So it'll be interesting to see if he can apply any pressure towards the end He was certainly tracking WTR to be finishing someplace around about 5th or 6th. But something definitely went wrong in the pit stop phase. And that now sees him well down the running order, but still going to pick up some points. Rob 2K 6.8 still is the gap. At one point that was up at 7.9 seconds, but he has reeled in 1.1 seconds over the last 4 minutes. So yeah, could potentially get to within 5.5 seconds, but it is all there for TK Drifter to claim that victory. Yeah, I was just having a look. Can't quite see any way of getting what his fastest race are unless we jump into drive. But that might mess it up a bit. Nope, not worth it. Oh, yeah, it's nope, it's not worth it. We'll just stick with this camera. Yes, the TK Drifter, Rob 2K, and Arms. 3 podium standings. Let's see, 40, 38 and 36 points. Cool Racing down in 11th place. Is going to get himself 20 points, so there is going to be a 20-point difference between Drifter and Cool Racing come the end of the race, which is going to extend his lead by 20, or it's going to extend his lead to 22 points. Milden won't be scoring, and Arms is going to find himself with 36 points. So he is going to get closer to Cool Racing. Not as close, I'm sure, as he would like. Oops. Oh, there we go. Sending friends request mid-race. I love technology. There we go. Yeah, so Arm's definitely the big beneficiary here, especially with Jetpack and Nebula. And Clayton not racing this evening. That certainly gives them a nice little bolster towards finishing clear in the top 5. Jetpack and Nebula a wee bit down the road with Clayton as well, 77 and 83 points back. K-Wheel Fighter ahead of Andy Cray and Renville in the standings, and he is once again ahead of them on track as well. Andy Cray in 9th place, so he's still in for a top 10 finishing a very handy 24 points to go to his championship tally. So it is going to be all change, although it is going to be TK Drifter. Phenomenal stuff. Like I said, he's led the championship at a couple of points over the 6 races so far without actually taking home the top spot on the podium. 2 minutes 20 seconds left to go. And it certainly looks like he's going to take his inaugural victory in the championship this evening. And not only that, he's going to take the biggest lead that we have seen so far this season over the standings. This is going to give him a fairly impressive 22-point gap over the rest of the field. It will still be Cool Racing in 2nd place. Arms is going to be promoted up to 3rd place, and Rob 2K is going to be up into 4th. Oh no, they're still going to be 4th and 5th, so I'm just doing some quick maths on the slide. Milden's not going to score any points. So yeah, the gap that he's going to have to overcome, both ahead has increased, and the drivers he's fending off behind, they have definitely closed the gap massively. The leader is on the final lap. Is he about to take the checkered flag? Nope, this is the start of the final lap. Just at the check that, so it will be lap number 28 that will finalise things for us. And it is going to be TK Drifter that's going to get that win, 6.1 seconds down the road. It is Rob 2K. So he certainly kept the Drifter honest Up at the front, Arms rounding out the podium at the moment. Morex, Bozzy, KOL, Fighter, and Renville. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Excuse me. Blue Mosquito in 8th, Andy Cray in 9th, Buzzy in 10th. Cool Racing back out after that drive through in 11th, WTR in 12th. It's Val Wren in 13th place. Ollie RSR in 14th, and FRL Romelson finds himself still in the pits with flags waving. Not sure quite what's going on there. Oh, I thought I was about to hit the other button there. But yeah, let's stay on board. Let us watch ourselves a victory lap. I'd love to go on to drive and get his jump on a bonnet cam. Just in case the camera messes up for the end. We'll just enjoy some external shots. Phenomenal drive. Really has not put a foot wrong. And definitely a worthy winner and a worthy opening win. As I say, 22 points is now going to be the gap he finds between himself and the rest of the field. And I'm half happy and half sad because it did say it would be amazing. Excuse me. If we could see a championship winner that didn't win a race. It's not often that happens. But if he does bring home the championship after 10 rounds, the win in round number 7 is definitely going to be one that he will remember for sure. TK Drifter in the Nissan GTR gets himself his first race victory, and it's Rob 2K gets himself only his second trip onto the podium this season, closely followed by Arms, his third trip onto the podium this season. Morex crosses the line for a very handy 4th position. Bozzy is going to take the checkered flag, the head of the Ferraris, with KOL Fighter just behind him in 6th position. Just coming around the last corner there is Renville in the BMW, closely followed by the Lamborghini of Blue Mosquito in 8th. Andy Cray just coming towards the final corner now. He's going to get himself 9th position. And then it will be Buzzy in the McLaren. He's going to get himself 10th place, top 10 finish for Buzzy. And I believe... oh, it's almost his best finish. 7th in race number 2 for Buzzy. But there he is coming across the line. In 10th position, Cool Racing. What could have been. Finishes in 11th at WTR. Another driver again. Very much what could have been. Coming across the line in 12th position. And rounding out this evening's race, it will be Val Wren and Ollie RSR. Both drivers will still be receiving points. As the top 25, in fact, receive points. So 13th and 14th will definitely be in the prizes. And there is confirmation of the final order. Brandon Glover, Art Connor, Milden, G. Harvey and Romelson all retiring before the end of the race. Ollie RSR took the checkered flag in 14th. Val Wren, WTR, Cool Racing and Buzzy 10th, 11th and 12th. It was Andy Cray in 9th, Blue Mosquito in 8th, Renville in 7th, KOL Fighter in 6th, Bozzy in 5th place, Morex in 4th. And on the podium, it was Arms in 3rd, Rob 2K in 2nd, and TK Drifter. Phenomenal drive to find himself coming home to take the checkered flag. Incredible stuff. Let me just grab that. And that, superb. That was round number 7. You need to take your pitch on. Yeah, no, trust me. You know what it is? I like to make sure I get the 180-second penalty just to make sure I don't win. I'm only here to commentate. I don't want to take the shine off you drivers. That's what it is. Yep, definitely 100%. That is exactly what it is. How you getting on, Michael? Who are you again in the race, bud? Go and remind me. I keep getting confused with everybody's PlayStation and real names. But how did your race go this evening? Let's see. And highlights. Please work. Don't crash on me now. Oh, no. We've not crashed. Excellent. So that was Circuit of the Americas. We've got Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, and Laguna Seca still to come. Remember, if you do want to support Formula Racing League and their endeavours to bring us the finest PlayStation and PC racing on ACC, jump yourself over to Patreon. You can get all the details at formularacingle.co.uk, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch as well. 3 tiers of supporters. You get a driver number reserved seat for free and an FRL lotto pick for all 3 levels. The elites and the aliens also receive a number logo, coaching, and new to PC sim racing guide. And the aliens will also get an overlay banner, yearly prizes, Sim Hub Dash, Elgato ACC icons, and a custom livery. Now, I blocked you. How were you able to still type messages into this chat? There we go. But here are the highlights. Let's just quickly end the broadcast and we can get rid of that bot. Please don't click any of the links that you ever see bots provide in chat. All it will do is bring horrible, horrible, terrible things to your PC and it won't work. You won't be able to sim race. So please don't touch them. Thank you to everyone that took part in this evening's race. I'll be back again, of course, for Friday night's continuation of the Endurance Series. So make sure you get yourself tuned in to that. Cheers to everybody that watched this evening. If you're watching this back and you're one of the drivers that took part, congratulations. I hope your race went well, and a huge congratulations once again, of course, to the podium. And especially TK Drifter. He led the championship and finally got himself a nice, solid race win. Love to see it. So congratulations, especially to TK Drifter. Rob 2K and Armstrong on the podium. But that is all we have time for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the race. We'll be back for more, as I say, on Friday with a continuation of the Endurance Series. And then we'll be back next Taco Tuesday for Indianapolis, another track new to the console drivers. How will they survive this one? Until we meet again, stay safe, take it easy, and have yourself a